Hey Jim, Steve here. I'm going to throw another banjo lesson at you. This time I'm going to talk about a few more chords, and then I want to throw some alternate tuning in just to mix it up. So first thing we're going to talk about is you know your G, and you know that if you put a bar chord on the 5th fret, that's a C. You put a bar chord on the 7th fret, that's a D. So you got pretty much half of every country song ever written. So. So the other chord I want to talk about, though, is this is the hard chord, right? The F. So the F is, you put a finger on the 1st string, 3rd fret, 2nd string, 1st fret, 3rd string, 2nd fret, and 4th string, 3rd fret. Always remember the 1st and 4th strings, if you're tuned in open G, are the same. So that makes it easy to remember. And the other, you're just making a diagonal line, you know. So that's your F major. So I wanted to talk about that real quick because I'm going to go into G minor tuning, and those chords, I want to show you how to find those chords in G minor tuning. So G minor tuning is all you're doing is you're going to take this G major and you're going to tune one of the strings down so that it's now a G minor. Think of it this way. You know that A major is on your 2nd fret doing a bar chord, right? If you want an A minor, you take that 2nd string and you push it down 1 half step. So you got your A minor chord. We're going to do the same thing with the G, which is open string, is basically a bar chord at the nut, and we're going to take that 2nd string and we're going to push it down 1/2, but obviously you can't do that with a chord form, so we're going to tune it down. And the way we do that is get your handy tuner out and tune down that B to an A sharp. And whenever you're retuning all your strings, the banjo's kind of loosey-goosey, so all the strings tend to affect one another, so make sure to retune your strings. This one. The easiest thing to do is start low and work your way up, or deeper tone up. There we go. So now this 4th string is a D, 3rd string is a G, just like it was before. That 2nd string is now an A sharp instead of a B, and the 1st string is a D. So with no hands, it's G minor. Remember when I told you could put a bar chord right here for that C? Well, instead of a C, it's going to be a C minor. D minor. C minor. Back to G minor. D minor. C minor. G minor. So all I was doing was your basic frailing strum. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Now I talked about that F chord a little earlier, and here's the cool thing about the F chord in the G minor form is you get a free finger. You take that, point your finger off, and that's your F chord. Now, the reason I'm talking about the F chord in G minor tuning is, as you'll notice, you get some free melody out of that. So if I put some hammer-ons where the fingers went on the F chord, that's where it gets really cool, is now you have this nice minor key that you're playing in, and you have a little bit of that minor scale. Now you could probably use your ear and find the rest of the notes in the scale. So you do your hammer-ons like we talked about in the last video. And then I can even do a little bit of slide. So I just take that third string at the second fret and slide it up to the third fret. Don't forget you have your C minor notes all the way up here, so you can slide up. Do that with your frailing strum, it sounds kind of cool. So a little trick I like to do is when you're doing your hammer-on, normally you just strike the string and then you hammer on. Well, we could do a thing called a phantom hammer-on, where you strike a different string. In this case, I'm going to strike the second string, but you hammer on the third string. It's not as loud. And sometimes I'll follow up by striking that third string, so. So another trick I like to do is I do a pull off on that first string, third fret, but I do, and then I go to the third string. So it's. Put it all together, you get some kind of deep, dark melody. So just take all your dynamics and just combine them and practice a lot. Get your muscle memory in place. So hammer-ons and pull-offs and slides all working together, just different patterns of different combinations. It's really not a lot of different tools you're working with, but when you combine them in different ways, it creates a lot of variety. I'll throw another one at you while I've got your attention. I kind of abuse this one. It's the double thumbing. So you know your bum diddy bum diddy. What if instead of you go strike thumb, so. Still fits within the bum diddy, but it's 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and bum diddy. So. So all I'm doing is striking with my fingernail down, always down, and then my offbeat, my and, I'm using my thumb on the drone string. So it's, and I mix up the strings, hit different strings to create a melody. And if you mix up those dynamics we were just talking about, so I'm really talking a lot about the dynamics. The dynamics apply regardless of what tuning you're in, but I gave you the little G minor bit to mix it up. So just in case you're getting a little bored with just the G major, you can know in the back of your mind there's a lot more to the banjo, a lot different tones that you can work with. And maybe next time we'll talk about one of my favorites,